So you say men don't know how to act properly. They lack in basic manners, but maybe you're just too old school. They harass you for a date. Whoa, okay.
Yes.
That's not cool. And when they get one, they don't talk, or they're rude to you, or they just get drunk. I'm sure it's semi-specific to my area. What area are you referring to?
Maryland.
Yes! Crab cakes and football! Nice. That's what Maryland does!
What's going on with dudes dating in Maryland? What's going on?
They're terrible at having conversation.
They're bad?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Okay, let's role play a conversation. So
I can give you an exact conversation I had with a man.
Let's do it. Bust it out.
He said, "How are you doing?" I said, "Good." And he said, "What you doing?" And I said, "I'm in the garden." He said, "What are you doing in the garden?" I said, "I'm picking beans." He said, "What type of beans?" "Green beans." "How do green beans grow?" "There are two types of beans. There are bush beans and there are pole beans. They're pole beans. So they grow on a vine." He was like, "That's cool." It's like, "Yeah." It's like, "But how do they grow?" "You put a seed in the ground and you hope for the best."
Was this a text conversation?
Yes.
Okay.
And then he asked me 5 minutes later, "What you doing?"
This poor guy was just trying to use the Socratic method, you know, and you shut him down over the Socratic method.
Why are we having a conversation about picking beans in a garden? It's not important. It leads nowhere. Every single conversation I had with this man was like chewing on drywall and washing it down with a glass of mayonnaise. It was the most painful thing.
Yeah.
The most painful thing.
But one man doesn't always equal all men.
There's a lot like that.
And ladies do the same thing.
Yeah.
I know.
And it's rough
Actually,
out there.
yes, that's a really good point. Women are the most guilty of being dog shit communicators. If you've ever been on a dating app in your life, one word answers.
You're on the date with the wrong ladies then.
Oh yeah, it just means they're not interested in you. But women are.
They have to be masked.
A lot of women can't just give you just straight up rejection, or a lot of women are just on the dating apps for validation and attention.
It's rough.
So they have no intention of actually meeting up with the guy.
Those
but
dating
they'll just,
apps are
I'm
pretty rough.
getting like a subtle amount of attention from a maybe okay attractive guy. I'm never gonna meet up with him, but okay, I'll just fucking give him one word answers. Women do this shit all the time too.
We're all the same. We're equal.
Actually, let me double down on this. Most of the dates I've been on from dating apps, which is a lot, you guys are terrible at fucking conversation. Terrible at conversation.
I think people in general are terrible at conversation.
I want to ask the chat. Chat, you guys have been on dates, dating apps, whatever. This is my experience. If I did what women do on a first date, it would be like dead silent, because you guys have this expectation of us to lead the conversation and to have initiative and, you know, direct the flow of conversation. I'll ask questions, and I could ask a girl like 7 things about her, and I'll like add in like a little banter response. She won't ask me one question in return.
So lacking reciprocal conversation.
Or interest. There's just...
I feel like you should stay off the dating apps.
Oh, I stopped the dating apps like a year ago. But it was my experience. Like if I did what women did on a first date, wait, do we have the chat up? Yeah. Has that been your guys' experience on like from any sort of dating? You meet a girl for a first date. What doesn't matter how you met her, although obviously there's better ways than dating apps to meet a woman. If you didn't carry the conversation, you have to carry the conversation as a guy.
It should be mutual.
It should be.
I tend to carry it most of the time on the dates that I go on.
And look, there's definitely women, I've encountered women that are decent conversationalists. And, but it occurs to me, like if I just did what women did, and I just, like, you guys are looking to us to talk. Like if I just stopped talking on a date, it would be silent.
I think a lot of times women do that if they're not interested.
Mm-hmm.
And
Why,
instead of hurting
someone's
feelings,
free food.
Shit, you picked the wrong one. I ain't paying for your shit.
But also sometimes I think because when
I'm like,
you meet
you want
somebody
me to pay?
online,
Out you go.
you meet someone online, and
Yeah.
then sometimes when you meet them in person, it's completely different. So
Saying I'm a catfish.
I'm just saying so I understand I'm not saying it's right.
You're so right. When you
But
meet
I'm
these
saying-
women in person, after you remove all the filters that they've put on their photos and the caked on makeup and the precise lighting and the posing and all this and the Photoshop, you're right. The woman I meet in person looks nothing like her dating app profile photos.
And that is true.
You're so
and
right.
That is unfortunate.
Maybe
that
men
women
should do that too. They'd get more swipes.
No, I don't think men should use filters
don't.
and
No,
makeup.
I don't think I don't think either of them should do it.
I feel like we expect everybody else to entertain us.
Right.
And you expect to entertain, or you expect for us to entertain you when we should be entertaining ourselves.
You can get a Netflix subscription if you want entertainment. I'm not here to be your dancing monkey.
No, and
entertainer.
you're not. Absolutely. But I feel
We
like
can
if
have
you
a
can,
conversation.
I would love a conversation. What I'm saying
Ask
is,
me a question about me. I remember when I used to go on dating app, right? I got on dating apps in 2012. That's when I started my YouTube channel. I've been on so many dating app dates, and I'd be asking these girls about their boring fucking ass job. Because that's what you got to do, right? You got to ask about their boring ass fucking job. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm being toxic. And then I'm like, yo, I've got an interesting job. It never occurred to you, lady from dating app, to ask me about my kind of unique job. Not that I really even want to talk about my job, but I'm like, this would be your opportunity to actually contribute to the conversation. But no, I suck at conversation. I'm just gonna let them carry it.
Really?
Can I ask a question?
Brian,
Yeah, go ahead.
how was your day today?
So
Don't worry about it.
you would say like you date girls with boring jobs, like you don't really care like how much they make, I'm guessing, right?
No.
Would you
don't care.
date a girl that works at McDonald's?
Absolutely.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah,
Sure.
I've said nothing wrong with that. I just wanted to know your take on that.
But, like,
that
it-
aside, I'm sorry.
Oh,
It was
go
a
ahead. No,
two-part.
you go ahead.
I also wanted to say, piggybacking off your other thing, because this is a hot take and it's like ironic, but like I mean it fits me because I'm so like equal, so pro equality. Like I prefer to pay for the first date.
Good for you.
Yeah, but I'm
Congrats.
mentioning that because I think that that's like beneficial to like for the woman, because now my man pays the rent. Like if you really like someone, like nowadays I do basically agree on the one hand with the one point that women are in a better position to pursue men than vice versa. Like
Okay,
you can
so-
have the conversation go south immediately.
So, okay, let me give two things on the whole paying thing. The most optimum thing you can do as a man is to just pay for the date. Like that's the most optimum thing you can do. We can have conversations about what's equal, what's fair, etc. We can have conversations of all these non-traditional women still expecting, feeling entitled to, and demanding traditional treatment from men. But that really, at the end of the day, even the most, Andrew, you remember the girl from the last show, the OF girl, the porn star, wanted traditional treatment. Even non-traditional women who are engaged in sex work and are highly promiscuous still feel entitled and expect men to adhere to their traditional
There's
gender
entitled
roles.
people in the world. Yeah, not
So
all
the
of
most
any
the most
category.
optimum thing, because you don't always know who you're gonna get. You don't know really unless you have a conversation about it, which could be detrimental. The best thing is to just pay for the first date. But also, I'd recommend to men, if you are kind of like, trying to be a little frugal, you can do something for free, or you could do something simple like coffee, or go get like a drink. I think food dates are fucking terrible, especially for first dates, because it's just like you always, whether you're the woman or the man, you always want an easy out.
Yeah.
Like if it's just weird, it's like you don't want to be waiting 30 minutes for food and like feel obliged to stay. If you get coffee or if you get a drink, you can just dip.
I recommend
if
like
it's fucking
museums or
whack.
something entertaining too, because then you can tell if they're interested in you or they're just like
Sure.
using the art and stuff to distract.
Word.
But
But just last thing on so the optimum move as a guy is to just pay for it, but if the girl's down to pay, but she's doing it like she's a simp, I think that's the best position. But most
Women-
girls aren't down to simp like that.
How do
so.
you like define like what's the barrier there? What's like,
What do you mean?
What's simping to you, and like, why is it optimal? For a
Like
guy
she
to
wants
pay?
you so bad that
Oh, that's
she's gonna
oof.
pay.
I don't know.
That's would be simping.
Yeah.
But most women aren't about that.
Yeah.
But if they are, that's great, because then that's a better position to be in as a guy.
a woman could pick up the check with someone she's interested in, and it doesn't mean she's like simping.
True, but
I mean, I think it
but
means
it-
like she's showing interest since it's so normal.
yeah,
for
it could be a little
guys to
it could be a
pay.
little less intense than like full on simping, but when women simp for men, that usually is like men are gonna find that pretty appealing, whereas when men simp for women, that's not, women ain't going for that.
I don't know. My man's a simp for me now. I love him. It's
Okay,
great.
well that's a little different. I'm talking like within the context of a
First date.
initial meeting
Yeah.
very early on.